This review coming just as soon as I finish staring at this incriminating painting. Hey everyone, Will here with a review of Marco Polo episodes 9 and 10. If you missed my earlier videos, I have links to them here. This was a big finish, so I'll dive right in. Episode 9, Prisoners. The theme of this episode was imprisonment. More importantly, the things men can become prisoners of. Love, legacy, duty, desire, fear, even family. This season, Kublai Khan revealed himself to be a prisoner of Genghis Khan's legacy. The only way he could free himself was to do the one thing that Genghis couldn't, which was to take down the walled city. Earlier this season, we saw the Khan murder one of his guards because he heard Marco lie to him about people disrespecting his son. Or, more important, disrespecting his legacy. It's precious to him, and the only thing that could ever really be taken away from him. Imprisoning and then executing Marco was a way for him to save face and preserve that legacy by pinning the blame on someone else. Speaking of Marco, Yusuf hit the nail right on the head. He said, "The only thing he's guilty of is his blind desire for your love." This has been a recurring theme for Marco this season. Like any kid who grows up alone, all he wants is to be loved by someone. His father, the Khan, the princess, it always comes back to bite him in the end. The most interesting character here was Yusuf. We finally find out who hired the assassins. Turns out, Marco was not the first young foreigner to fall under the Khan's spell. I suspected Ahmad was the one who hired them, but it was Yusuf. He just got tired of playing the game of I won't say it. 3 other things this episode. Number 1, 100 Eyes has a heart. I thought it was funny how quick the Khan was to dismiss him. He knew as well as anyone that Marco wasn't really guilty of anything. But someone's got to take the fall. 100 Eyes would only have talked him out of it. Also, we finally found out who took away his eyesight. Number 2, Chabi takes a prisoner. The rivalry between her and Mei Lin is long from over. But at the moment, this seemed like a decisive victory for Chabi. It's a little hard to believe that they didn't know who Li Ling was when they got her though. Especially knowing Mei Lin was one of the Emperor's wives. Number 3, patience, speed, adaptability, and ruthlessness. Traits that describe a praying mantis, but also traits that describe why Chin Han was such a good bad guy this season. Chin Han's played this kind of slithery bad guy before, but I felt like this was his best role. Moving on to episode 10, The Heavenly and the Primal. An episode that didn't really have a consistent theme, but a lot of the season's plot threads were resolved. Here are the top resolutions. Number 1, Kublai bests Genghis. As I said earlier, the only way Kublai could be free of Genghis's ghost was to take this city. The only other person that really understood this was Marco. That's what that little look between them was all about. Number 2, Kaidu gets banished. If there's one thing that the Khan learned from dealing with his brother, it's that dissent cannot be tolerated, and it must be dealt with quickly. He should have taken his head. I feel like this thread will loom large next season, especially when the Khan finds out where Biamba is. Number 3, the princess skips town. Marco's stake in taking down the walled city wasn't just winning back everyone's trust. Any man who proves his loyalty to me can take whatever he wishes. Marco's naive enough to believe he could ask for the blue princess, but the princess is not naive. She knew Chabi would never let this happen. Poor Marco is abandoned again. Number 4, Jingim and Marco squash the beef. I don't think they're done being rivals, but here they show a mutual respect for one another, especially now that Marco knows what it's like to be a disappointment to the Khan. Number 5, the cricket minister gets beat. This is the fight I most wanted to see, and they didn't disappoint. Did you notice 100 Eyes switched to praying mantis style at the end? I love that. It was kind of like shooting him with his own gun. At least he got to sit on the throne before he died. Number 6, Ahmad's playing the long game. One thing about being the top dog is that you're never short on challengers. I smelled a rat on this guy all season, and now we can add him to the long list of people that want the Khan's crown. I feel like Ahmad is especially dangerous because he's not just a guy with a grudge. He's a man with a vision. And now he has the cricket minister's first lady on his team. He's definitely someone to watch out for next year. I'll leave you now with the final power rankings. If you disagree with anything I said, leave a comment below. We'll pick up the threads next time.